Good morning, everybody. Welcome to an episode of Dr. Cammy and Karen Go Keto, and it is Catwalk Day. We are week 9 today. Woo! And look at Miss Karen. She is noticing a little bit of thinness more around her waistline. I believe we can see that going in on the side, those little curves, and those are looking great. She's doing good with her carnivore diet, her carnivore way of eating and lifestyle. She had a little episode where she was planning to eat at home and then ate out, but she ate on-plan food and she is looking real good. And we're so happy to have you here this morning, Karen. Good morning to our catwalk.
All right. Good morning. I don't think I'm going to, sorry. Oh, shit. Sorry about the swearing. I was going to try to bring this down, but I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if that's a one-armed.
Well, we can see your face, so I think we're good.
I think so too. Go ahead.
Okay, here I go. I can't hear you guys out there, so.
All right. There's Cammy, and there she is, full body. She will tell you her numbers. I'm not sure if we're going to do numbers in this video or the next video. There's her belt. Oh, that was a cry of distress. So we'll find out what that. Oh, there she did two notches.
All right, so that was hole number 2, but I could not comfortably wear that belt if I had to. It's definitely tighter for me than it was last week.
That was a standing up belt only, not a sitting down belt.
Almost a laying down belt.
All right. So we have a little bit of time to chat, and I would like to say what is working for me. And that is, I am consistent because I eat the same food all the time. And I go out to eat and I eat at Mrs. V's and have steak and eggs and a tiny, tiny bit of potatoes, which is getting smaller and smaller every time I go.
And, I just want to say that you used to eat their skillet there, right?
Right.
So,
right.
That's really been a big change. The steak and the eggs is a nice change, and that's getting more beef in there.
That's right. And the only issue with this is it's a New York strip steak that they serve for breakfast. Oh, no, today I had the skirt steak, and I don't feel like there's enough fat in it. So I do eat a few pats of butter at the table. And that's what I do. I put 2 pats of butter in. It's probably just about a tablespoon of potatoes. And I know that that's not fully carnivore. I think I've mentioned my concern before. The reason I am reluctant to remove it entirely is because I have had explosive diarrhea a few times. And I know that they say, I kept the carbs in, I kept the potatoes in, thinking that that's enough fiber to make things better. And I don't feel like that anymore. I think maybe my gut biome has just adjusted, but I don't want to really test it again. Enough testing. So
Maybe
I will
just put on a super diaper, put on one of your mom's pads or something, and just because you're telling me that it's like a tablespoon of potatoes. I mean, it's a really small amount.
Right. I think that the next thing, well, and part of the other reason is, the goal was to not be eating out anymore. And I was unable to commit to that goal. And the reason why
No. You committed to it. You didn't do
keep it. Right. I did not meet that goal because I do not feel like what I had in place is going to work for me strategically and emotionally. Because like I said, what keeps me on point is eating the same thing. And I'm not quite ready to cook my food at home and trust that I will only eat the food that I cook at home.
Because there's other food there, or?
Well, there's other food there, and it's a totally different environment in which to eat. And it's not an environment that's conducive to sticking to carnivore, right? Like it's very stressful. I'm not stressed out when I go to Mrs. V's. It's very relaxing. It's very community oriented. And what I have at home is just a reminder of how things are, and how things are does cause me stress.
More work to do. Like there's always more to do.
Well, there's chaos, but the biggest thing is my mom's health. And, like last night, she cried out like 3 times during the night. So I get up and walk over to her and check on her. So when I hear her crying, I go and check on her. And sometimes she's fine. And sometimes she needs some reassurance. But that's not conducive to a really emotional, calming meal, right? So if I
Right.
have
And
to
I
get
think
up,
I think when you go out, you're really feeling cared for.
right,
When you get to a restaurant and somebody waits on you and they know you there and they bring you everything that you need and you don't have to ask because you've been there, you're really getting care and love there and in a very calm environment. So a lot of it, I think, for you is that emotional part of it.
it is. And it's like it's not work. Everything else for me is work. My work for my mom, my work for my office is here. So the house just stresses work, work, work. That's the only
Mhm,
conversation
mhm.
that the house is
Well,
this
there
is
is
work.
some sleep in there. There's some sleep in the house, but even when you sleep, you're getting up to check on your mom, and sometimes you have to change your pad or do something physical and be up for a little bit. And
Right.
yeah, so
Right. So I'm still and I am playing with this idea of joining a health club, but I think that might actually be more work, right? Getting up earlier, getting to the gym, working out at the gym, coming back, and then maybe being ready to eat at home. I don't know. It just doesn't sound like it's work. That's a workable thing right now. And that's nowhere near as expensive as eating out all the time. So, another thing to play with is some fasting, right? Doing some fasting. So I could eat out every other day and just fast, have a longer fast period, right? Like we were talking about 30-hour fast, which takes you from morning to the next evening or afternoon, right? So if I eat at Mrs. V's, let's say today is Sunday at 8:30, then I don't eat at Mrs. V's tomorrow at 8:30, and I don't eat again until the afternoon. And then it's different. The whole dynamic is different when I'm eating at home in the afternoon. And I did find some steaks at the Jewel grocery store yesterday, New York strip steaks for $4. And they do have to be cooked by the 4th. So somebody's going to be eating them.
you could freeze them.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow, that's great. Yeah. So I like that idea of fasting. And, and honestly, I'm finally ready to start fasting. I think that's the last component to my plan to try to start getting some of this weight off. I think that I'm finally emotionally ready to do that, to go eat a nice big meal in the morning and then go till the next afternoon. That's something I could do.
Yeah. And I think that for me and for you, if we eat in the afternoon, eat a good portion of food. Don't fast the next day, right? The next day will be one meal or two meals or even three meals. And then either, even eat one more day and then try it again or try a shorter one, right? Like do an
No, no,
OMAD.
no, 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 no. That's not me. I'm a once a week fasting kind of girl to start.
Well, but OMAD is not necessarily fasting. It's just really a short window,
Right, right. But
right? Because you could do two meals. I would still call it an OMAD if you have your window of 4 hours.
right. I went yesterday, I think 18 hours or something, 16 hours maybe. And that was doable, but I had eaten a lot the night before,
Well, that's the
late,
key. Yeah.
like
The
at
key.
8 o'clock or something.
Yeah. The key. That's one of the keys. All right,
Good.
everybody. Thanks for watching.
We'll check in next time to talk about my labs and some issues that are going on with me and some things that are keeping me bigger and things that we're going to work through.
Bye.
Bye.